was so scared. I'm so sorry. Hi everyone, my name is Christy and welcome back to my series 12 Months, 12 Books, the July edition. I have decided to do something very special this year because my sister gave me a great gift for Christmas, which was this flash drive where I have 13 ebooks, one for each month of the year plus one extra. If you've been with me for some time, you already know this, but in case you're new here, every month I review the book from the previous one and then we reveal the new one. It's something that I'm very excited for every month. And it makes me even more motivated to read the books. So far, honestly, we've had a good streak. Most of the books I've liked besides The Spring Fever, which was a book of, was it last month? I think so. That book, I mean, you can check the previous video, but I did not know what was going on. And I think I gave it 0 out of 5. Let's dive into the book of July, which was A Happier Life by Kristen Harvey. And I must say, I did like this book very much. A Happier Life by Kristý Harvey is a heartfelt Southern fiction novel about family, legacy, and the secrets that shape us. When a young woman returns to her mother's coastal hometown after an unexpected turn in her life, she uncovers hidden truths about her family's past and begins to piece together a deeper understanding of where she comes from. Set against the charm of the North Carolina coast, the story weaves together themes of love, forgiveness, and starting over. With rich characters and emotional depth, A Happier Life is a moving exploration of what it means to truly come home. I don't have any notes for this book because, to be honest, I read it quite fast and I just didn't think about writing anything down. So this book was written from a perspective of a granddaughter and her grandparents, and the author was switching in between the POVs of these 3 people, but the POVs were from different times. Like the granddaughter was looking at it from the present, and then the grandparents, I think it was in the 60s or 70s, but sometimes I think one entry might have been from the 30s as well. And basically, as I said in the quick summary, the granddaughter has something going on in her life. She has a great job, but then something happens also with her ex-partner and she just is not having a great time basically. And so all of a sudden her uncle comes and he's like, well, we have this big old house by the coast and we want to get rid of it finally. And it was the house of the grandparents because her mom and the uncle never went back to the house because of something that happened there with the grandparents. It stayed the exact same for I think over 40 years. So when the granddaughter decided to go back because the uncle gave her an opportunity to, prepare their house for the sale and everything and go through the things, she went back, she came into the house, everything, like the dishes were still in the sink, and it was really just like the grandparents walked out of the house one day, one night, and then nobody ever went back. And what I really liked about this story is that the book was written or narrated through people who had obviously a relationship together, like a familiar relationship, but at the same time it skipped one generation. It wasn't the mother-daughter story or the father-son story, but it was the grandparents and the granddaughter, which I feel like is not that common, and I really enjoyed that. And there was this one mystery, basically what happened to the grandparents, because nobody really knows. There were some clues to it. Somebody thought there was a murder, somebody thought they ran away. There were basically like theories, and I really liked that because it was kind of like the heartfelt, easy story. You got into it really fast, understood the characters and everything, but there was this one thing that kept you very, very intrigued throughout the whole story, and you wanted to know how it untangles, I guess, at the end. And I love that it untangled through basically all of the POVs almost at once at the end. So overall, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the plot, the characters, the setting, because obviously the house is on the coast, the river in a small not a river, the ocean or the sea, happening or located in a small city where everyone, not even a city, probably like a town or a village where everyone knows each other, they're super nice to each other, they have these traditions, and I think it's based on almost like not true events, but it was inspired by, I think, a specific town that the author lived in. So I am a little bit jealous that someone is living in a little town like this. Let's check some quotes out. My Kobo reader is not responding. What happened? Come back to me. This has never happened to me before, but it's literally like not responding whatsoever. Come back to scared the heck out of me. Oh my god, when I read the reviews for this device, some people have said that it's super easy to break it or like break the screen on this. And then, you know, when I went to buy this device, the guy who was selling it there, he was like, do you want the insurance? I think it's really smart to get it. I was like, no. So now it scared me so bad. Luckily, it didn't break, but I think it worked because it's doing something. What's new? Various bug fixes. Okay, maybe it was just like somehow upgrading. Oh my god, that was so scary. I'm so sorry. As someone who has often questions... I can't read today. As someone who has often questions... Oh my god. I think I'm maybe just a little bit shaken from my Kobo falling down on the floor. As someone who has often questioned whether he was in love, I now know that when one is actually in love, it is quite easy to recognize. You know, can't relate because I don't think I've ever been in love. Yes, I'm 23, but you know, life is what it is. Dearest darling, food is love. Flowers are jewels. No good party is complete without both. Come to think of it, no good life is complete without all four. This one I really loved because it just like, there's a little bit of math. I had to go back to it when I was first reading it to understand it well, you know? And I think it's just a really good way of thinking about life. Also, the entries of the POV of the grandmother were basically into her diary. I think it might have been, I don't know if it was her whole diary or just the first few paragraphs because they were written in, what is it called? Italics. So, you know, slightly tilted, and she was writing kind of like a cookbook with pieces of advice about hosting and making parties and dinner parties for her daughter. There were pieces of advice on how to do things, and this was one of them. She is my mother, and dealing with meltdowns is what daughters do. This quote, I highlighted it because I feel like it's a very interesting conversation, because in the past few years of my life, we have been in the realm of talking about what are the duties of kids to their parents and the parents to their kids. And honestly, I haven't figured out anything concrete, any perfect truth, perfect solution, because I think it's kind of an individual thing. And one last quote, and never forget to say your most outlandish dreams out loud. You never know who might be listening or how your life might change in the very best ways. I think this is nice. We should dream big, believe in ourselves, but I think saying it out loud makes it a little bit more real. I don't know, maybe the universe is listening and will help you out. Let's reveal the book for August. It's gonna be the 8th book. That is crazy. I totally lied. Let's reveal the book for July. I was thinking like August is too far away. What the heck? I'm gonna plug in the flash drive, plug it into my laptop. Oh, the password. Let's open the last chapter of the book of June. And the first word of the last chapter is it. You know, I realized by doing this challenge that the first words of sentences or paragraphs or chapters or whatever are usually quite short. Never thought about it before. Let's write in it. Works like a charm. Now we convert it from Mobi to EPUB. This one. Convert. Oh, I have to go get a cable to transfer it into my Kobo. Download. And let's see the book, I guess. I don't know what it is yet, but I saw the tiny little cover. Oh, what? Interesting. The book for the month of July is The Summer of Songbirds by Kristy Harvey, which is the author of the book I read last month. That's why I said, interesting, because why am I reading the same author again? But honestly, I'm not mad because I liked the previous book, so I assume this will be fun as well. And it says New York Times bestselling author, and then there's a comment or like a little quote by Emily Henry, which I really like that author as well, who says, put this in your beach bag immediately. And I see a pattern that my sister was trying to do, where in the winter when I was beginning, I think the second book was called Winter Bride. Now I have a book that has the word summer in it. I also read Spring Fever 2 months ago or something. So my sister really thought it out when she was creating the gift, which I really appreciate, obviously. Other than that, I know nothing about this book. Once again, I've never heard of this before, but I am excited to read it. One last step that we always do together is to put it into my list list of books that my sister also prepared. So for the password, it was it. Oh, we also have to rate the previous book. Honestly, I would give it a 4 just because it took me a little bit to get into the story and, enjoy it. And then later on, honestly, I did feel maybe not sucked in specifically, but I was excited to go back and read and, continue reading, seeing how it ends. Maybe, you know what? Let's give it 4.5. I can just copy the author from last month. And then the book was called Summer, the Bird Song, something. The Summer of Songbirds. The Summer of Songbirds. Save. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed yet another surprise book opening. As I always say, if you want, you can join my little book club and read the same book or one of the previous ones to tell me how you liked it. Thank you for watching. Happy reading, and I'll see you next time. Bye!